For the past 3 weeks, I have been traveling around Azerbaijan. After leaving Nakhchivan, I made a stopover in the capital city of Baku and then continued my journey to the historic town of Sheki. From Sheki, I plan to cross into Georgia on foot using the northeast border crossing. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to a small town of Sheki, considerably to be one of the most touristy town in Azerbaijan. And this town itself is quite well known for its historical buildings and palaces due to the importance of this location during the Silk Road time. But yeah, I'm just here for an overnight stop actually before heading to the Georgia's border tomorrow. Solo traveling in Azerbaijan is adventurous in itself because the country is not one of the most popular tourist destinations in the international sort of scheme. But at the same time, solo traveling here as a female could be a bit challenging in some shape or form. Of course, Azeri people are sweet, but in a more smaller town like this, conservative town, in a way that there are a lot more men on the street than female, you just get so many stares that you cannot avoid that, and sometimes it makes things very uncomfortable, at least for me. And this is me speaking from a 10-year solo traveling experiences. So as you can see, this is Heydar Aliyev, the former president of Azerbaijan. You will see everything named after him everywhere in Azerbaijan. The airport, parks, anything, which tells the importance of this figure to the country. I do like walking through different neighborhoods, alleyways, and get a sense of different feeling of the local community, the houses, and look what I found. Look at this beautiful contrast of the orange trees, just regular houses with beautiful stone walls. I find that this type of houses has a lot of character. It's beautiful. As I'm walking around, I've noticed a couple of door handles attached to each door, and this reminds me of the doors I've seen in Iran. And traditionally, guests coming to a house will use different door handles depending on their sex. This one being for the female and this one being for the male, because this creates a bit more dainty sound, whereas this is a bit more heavy and sturdy, thick handle. This will let people inside know whether a woman is knocking or a man and who needs to open the door. Sheki lies in the southern part of the Greater Caucasus Mountains and was a significant hub during the Silk Road period. It played an important role by welcoming merchants and travelers from across land and sea. Sheki's architecture was notably influenced by different traditions, ideas, and cultures. As I was nearing the end of my journey in Azerbaijan, I wrapped up my final afternoon by visiting Sheki's caravanserai. This used to be the center for exchanges and negotiations for merchants and travelers along the Silk Road. I simply sat and observed while feeling a sense of gratefulness. What a beautiful, beautiful building. So Caravanserai basically supported the flow of commerce, information and people across the network of trade routes during Asia, North Africa and South Europe, most notably during the Silk Road era. Imagine that in the past where there was no transportation, travelers would be able to make a stop here and rest and recover from such long journey. And this is where all travelers would meet and become the melting pot where informations are exchanged, language are exchanged. It's so fantastically, beautifully preserved. Good morning from the small town of Sheki. So today is my border crossing day. I'm a bit nervous because I haven't done border crossing for a long time. So my plan for today is to take a small marshrutka or any bus to Balakan. What I don't know, this is why I'm quite nervous, is how to cross the border, because I don't think officially Azerbaijan border is open. However, I've heard from multiple sources that if you are a foreigner and leaving Azerbaijan to a third country, yes, you can cross the border to leave Azerbaijan. There's a lot of uncertainties around that news, so I don't know whether I'll make it to the border today or tomorrow morning. I'll just have to play it by the ear. The bus station is just 15 minutes walk, but as you can see today it's quite crowded. This is sort of like local Sheki people walking around. It's a beautiful day with such colorful leaves. Autovazgal. So I'll have to look for marshrutka to Balakan. So as you can see, there is a bus or just marshrutka to Baku, Kabala. Balakan yok?
Yok, Balakan yok.
Okay. There is Casa over here. I'm just going to ask if they have any transport to Balakan. Hello, do you speak English? It's Balakan.
Balakan, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, how many hours to Balakan?
2-3 hours.
2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Okay, thank you. I'll wait. If you're a bit confused in terms of the map of Azerbaijan, this is a very useful indicator. Whereabouts is the capital city, whereabouts is Sheki, whereabouts is Ganja, perhaps that's where you're going. And I'm going even further up north, if you can see that's Balakan, so that's the closest town to the border. I must say that I'm still slightly nervous, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether because it's been 3 weeks in Azerbaijan and I think I'm quite done and ready to go to Georgia to see my husband. Obviously, Dave is flying. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but we'll spend 10 days together traveling and producing videos from Georgia by doing a road trip. I can't wait for this border crossing to finish. I don't know, I'm just so nervous today. That's just the reality. You don't get all the happy-go-lucky feeling when you travel alone, and especially if you're taking public transportation by yourselves, surrounded by locals. Usually you'll be helped around, but there are times when you just cannot escape this feeling. As you can see, there are lots of marshrutka already, and over here as well, when people and locals are getting onto. I think this is a local transport because I don't think this is a long distance bus. Yeah, potentially, but it's always fascinating to see what the local is getting onto and how they go about their day.
Pardon, sir.
Sorry, I don't understand.
America.
Indonesia. But live in Ingilterra. Ingilterra with husband.
Boyfriend.
Oh, husband. Yes. Yeah, I have a husband already. If I'm being honest, oftentimes I just get so intimidated if there are so many men surrounding my space. But obviously sometimes it's a sense of curiosity, and a lot of language barriers makes it even harder to sense what's the intention. But yeah, that's part of traveling alone, isn't it? Извините, do you know any bus from Balakan?
Автобус не ходит,
Нет.
только такси.
Taxi.
Taxi,
да. Do you know like стоит how much?
Вот так.
Так,
И-
5
вот
minutes.
так. Или-
Окей.
Если скажу вот так. Вот так. Тоже можно.
3, 4, 4, 4, 4. 4 minutes или 5 minutes.
Отвезет вам.
Super. So I think there's a chance of me going to the very border by a taxi, and we'll see if I can make my way to the nearest town in the border of Georgia. There is a small town called Lagodeki, I think that's the word, in Georgia. I don't know if you can see, but I like how even here on the marshrutka they tell the time in terms of departure time, 2 p.m. We'll see whether it's like departs on time. If it departs on time, that's really something, you know. The seat is so very tiny, and there are usually lots of passengers in. This is one of my favorite way to travel, the most authentic way. Как тебя зовут?
Фатима.
Фатима. Меня зовут Адриана.
Очень
приятно. I just wish that I had much better Russian speaking ability. Earlier this year I took a short course of Russian, but obviously it's far from being able to speak. At this time, you know, like this very moment, I really wish I could speak fluently. As if it's not full enough, more passengers are coming. Such a sweet lady she was. I think this is the real Azerbaijan. Looks like we have arrived to Balakan, but I trust my driver in guiding me through what to do afterwards. I have a feeling that my driver is looking for a taxi for me.
5 манат.
5 minutes.
Да.
Okay. Да.
Ходи.
Okay. I think he found me a taxi driver.
До границы.
Спасибо большое.
Пожалуйста.
Спасибо. До свидания.
До свидания.
Whoa. What a fancy taxi.
Tezden götür gel. Ayrıca sinema ki.
As I approached the border, I felt my anxiety begin to grow. I knew that according to my research, I would be allowed to cross into Georgia, but I couldn't help but feel unsettled. I knew that there would be suspicion as to why I was crossing as a solo female traveler. It's just such a surreal feeling to be here because, like, obviously I'm the only one and, like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Oh, that's the border. Okay, obviously I cannot film at the border, but I'm just here to buy some water bit because I still have quite a bit of Azerbaijani manat that I cannot use. It feels quite surreal to be able to cross the border. It was so nerve-wracking because the Azerbaijani custom asked me so many questions. All the Azerbaijani custom was like, why are you alone? Why are you alone? You look so beautiful and you're alone. Why? And why did you visit Nakhchivan? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Crazy. But look at this. I'm still at the Georgia's border and still waiting for the custom to stamp my passport. They seem to like ask so many questions, much like Azerbaijan's border, but well, who knows? Wish me luck. It was very nerve-wracking, but I'm so proud of today's moment and experience that I finally had my very first successful border crossing. I still have a few manat with me, which is now unusable. Thankfully, it's probably less than $10, and yeah, we'll see. I've got my accommodation booked at the very nearest town of Lagodeki, and then I'll head to Tbilisi tomorrow. I just got to my room in Georgia. I still cannot believe that I've made it. Oh, it's fantastic. My host is already saying, okay, come visit us inside for a cold wine. I'm like, yes! I just can't believe how rare is it for the customs to see a woman traveling alone, that they have so many questions, too many questions, which makes it impossible not to feel like it was such a nerve-wracking experience. I took a taxi for 10 gel, Georgian's money, to this particular smaller town, Lagodeki. I will need to refresh myself, charge all of this battery, and yeah, I can't wait to see my husband tomorrow. Okay guys, that's enough talking. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this very raw travel experiences, that I try my best to capture that, to showcase it to you. What does it look like to travel alone, to border cross? Can't wait to see you again on the next one. Loving my accommodation already. Bye!